34-week doctor's appointment. This is where we're at. Pretty awesome. Feeling weird, so hopefully I'll have a good report, but I gotta get in there, so I'll report after. Hi everyone, welcome back. So Katie here, and I'm here today for my 34-week pregnancy appointment, and also today I'm 34 weeks pregnant. So I could throw it into one video. I was gonna separate it, but maybe we'll just do it together because they kind of encompass each other. So I had my 34-week pregnancy appointment this morning. My OB called me yesterday and said, hey, you know, we're really recommending patients do not come into the office. Would you mind doing a telemed visit? That's what we have you scheduled for. And I said, actually, I would mind because I've been having a lot of stuff going on. And if you recall from last week that I had to do a telemed visit, kind of like an emergency appointment, not emergency, but an unscheduled appointment, that's a better word. And so an unscheduled appointment with my doctor, which was a telemed. And she said, okay, good. I'm glad you're going in next week. They'll check you out, just make sure everything is fine. I'm sure it's all fine. You sound good, but you know, it's good you're going in because you haven't been in a few weeks, especially this late in pregnancy. So when they called to say that, I was like, no, the doctor last week said she wanted me to come in, that they wanted to check me out and make sure everything was okay. And so they were like, well, the office that you go to is closed. I was like, what do you mean? First of all, why did I not know about this? Like, why am I just finding out now? Less than 24 hours in advance of my scheduled appointment at this one office. So it's a big office and they have different like campuses. I don't know, however you want to call it, but they have different locations around. I think they have like 5 different locations. And so the 2 that I normally go to, both closed. And so I was like, well, okay, like what do you want me to do? Do you have any that are open? And they said that we have one, and it was about 35 minutes from my house. I was like, well, I really need to be seen. So whatever, I'll take it. And so then I went at 7:15 this morning because they didn't have me scheduled, of course. And they pushed me, they normally open at 8:30. And so any, I guess, extra appointments they were doing before they opened. So I got there and there was no one else there. The other thing is I got there and I was expecting, because right now with the current recommendations from the CDC for COVID-19 are that everyone wear a cloth mask, at least a cloth mask. So I went with my mask and I was the only one wearing one. And I was just like, hold on. Like, of all the people, I thought the doctors would be the ones wearing them and the nurses and whatever. But I guess since they all know that they're clear, that they aren't doing it, I don't know. So whatever. But when the doctor herself, the OB herself, she came in, she had on a mask and the face shield and everything. So I was like, okay, at least someone is following recommendations. But I was still wearing my mask because I don't want to risk getting it. I don't know where they've been. I don't know anything like that. I'd really rather not get this while pregnant. Yeah, imagine that. So yeah, anyway, so I went in mainly because I can check my blood pressure at home. That's not a problem. My blood pressure has always been pretty low while pregnant. With Abby, it started ramping up at like the 36-week mark. So hopefully that doesn't happen again, but we're not there yet. Today, my blood pressure was 110/62, which she said was excellent. So that was good. I was able to pee in the cup so they could get their sample. I haven't heard any negative results about that, or bad results. I hate when you say positive or negative about testing with medical field because it's always confusing. So I haven't heard anything bad about that. My weight was fine. It's actually a little higher than I thought it was, but I know yesterday I drank 112 ounces of water, and so maybe it was still going through me. I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. My weight can be up if it needs to be, and they weren't concerned at all about it. Made no mention of it. And then I went in, and then the doctor came in and said, so this is part of my Bumpdate portion, and the doctor, is that yesterday I was feeling contractions, not just the normal Braxton Hicks, which I actually am getting right now as we're talking. This is awesome. But the full, like, more normal labor contractions yesterday, and they would be almost 2 minutes on, and then I'd have a minute off, and then I'd have like 2 minutes on and a minute off, which was longer than I ever had with Abby. Abby I'd have like 30 seconds and then get like a break. So that was weird. That lasted about half an hour, and then it gave me like 15 minutes off, and then I had like another half hour of that. And so the criteria, at least what my doctor wanted me to follow to go into labor and delivery, was you need to have, I think it was 6 or more contractions in an hour. And so that would be 1 every 10 minutes. Less than, yeah. So more than 6 an hour, which would be more frequent than every 10 minutes for an hour. Yes. And so it stopped at the half-hour mark. And so I was like, okay, like, and during that time I chugged water. I was trying to rest a bit. And so I was like, okay, good to go. But then they came back again, totaled an hour for way more than 6 of them, but being that they were separated, and then nothing again after that. So today I've only had probably what's Braxton Hicks, although this is probably my 3rd one in about 12 minutes, actually, that is hopefully going to end any second, and it's still going. And yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna hold my belly. Yeah, and so she said about that, it sounded like I was having false labor. And she's like, yeah, we don't want that. You're only 34 weeks, which is like a kind of sigh of relief point, but at the same time, little man's lungs are still developing, his nervous system is still developing, there's still, and his brain and everything is still, needs more time. He needs more time to cook in here. And so I'm willing to do anything I can to keep him in here longer. And so she said to drink more water. I was like, I'm already drinking 112 ounces a day, which is 16 glasses of water a day. And she was like, yeah, I know, it sounds like a lot, but you obviously need more. So I am drinking like a fish. And then she wanted to do a test. Apparently they have some swab tests now where they can check for preterm labor. If you're about to go into preterm labor within the next 7 to 10 days. And I was like, I've not heard of that one. But they just take a swab, kind of like a pap smear. I'm used to saying smear. Pap smear type thing. And so she wanted to do that. And so she checked me, or she did that, and then she wanted to check to see if I was dilated or effaced. If I was more than 4 centimeters dilated, then she would send this test off to the lab and probably also most likely send me to labor and delivery at the hospital just to get fully checked out, because it is so early. And so she checked and I was closed. No dilation whatsoever. I was fully closed. So that was really good. So she actually ended up throwing out the test. She's like, yeah, we don't need this. You're not dilated at all. We don't have to worry about spontaneous preterm labor if you're not dilated at all. So that was good. But she said I'm 50% effaced at this point, which that really doesn't matter. It's just since she was checking, she figured she would, check that and tell me. So I guess I have another data point now. I know with Abby, they didn't start checking until 36 weeks, but they had no reason to. And when they checked at 36 weeks, I want to say, I have it in a video and I should have checked this beforehand, but I want to say I was like 1 or 2 centimeters dilated at that point, but then I still had weeks left of pregnancy. So yeah, they can check it, but it honestly doesn't really tell you a whole ton, because when I went into the hospital to deliver her at 39 weeks, I was still 2 centimeters dilated. And so yeah, it really doesn't honestly tell you that much. So yeah, so that was crazy. I'm apparently having false labor. And so now really pay attention. He's moving really well though. So that's one thing we're all happy about. When he does start moving, he's constantly moving. I don't have to worry about counting kicks because it's just all over. He's all over the place. I should get a video close up on my belly because it's pretty cool. But yeah, so what else did she say? Yeah, just watch out for, actual full real labor signs and not just false ones at this point. But I'm scheduled to go back in 2 weeks for 36 weeks pregnant. And I said, will I have that? And she said yes, because they need to do the group B strep test on me at that point. And so I can't do that on myself. I can't do it at home. So I'll be going into the office. Now, my appointment is scheduled at that original office that is closed. So I am going to probably call them tomorrow just to be like, hey, I have this appointment scheduled. Can we just move it now so that I get a time that is a little better for me than 7:15 in the morning, because I have to work. So I'll probably be calling them in the morning, or hopefully I remember to, but you know, pregnancy brain. So we'll see. If I don't, you can comment and remind me. Hey, did you call your doctor? That would be excellent. I would welcome the reminder. So yeah, I haven't done, as far as exercising this week, I worked out, I have a treadmill. I walked on the treadmill, I think twice, and I did my ab exercises, my pelvic floor and core stuff, all this part of my program. I did that two times, I think. Yeah, some stretching, which felt really good. I also took a bath and had this like muscle salt stuff, which felt so good. And then, yeah, that was it as far as exercising. Been, you know, trying to eat as healthy as I can. Oh, that was another thing. This week I talked to my doctor, but I've been having issues where I've been having a nosebleed every single day, and like for quite a bit. And some days it's twice a day, which is really annoying. And it's been going on for the last, I don't know, a few weeks, I guess, probably. And so the doctor was concerned that I'm losing a lot of blood that way, like through my nose. And so she wants me to take either an iron supplement or at least have more iron-rich foods, just to make sure that I have enough blood and have enough blood for little man. Now, I have been told in the past, and this is very, very uncommon for women apparently, but I've been told in the past that I have high iron. And if you have high iron, like that's really not good. It can kill you and stuff. And so I'm very hesitant to take an iron pill. So I will up my intake of, like, say, spinach and just all those good, like, iron-rich foods. And so I do plan on doing that. I need to get some spinach, so hopefully groceries, you know, I can get some spinach. But we also have a garden going, and outside we did just transplant our spinach, so maybe we'll be able to start getting some soon. It'll probably be still another bit of time, but hey, it's something, right? So yeah, so I think that was the only other thing at the doctor. But yeah, bump date. So I've been holding him, but here's the bump for this week. So this is pregnancy number 2, if you're new. Abby is my daughter, who I've been talking about this whole time. And so yeah, this is my bump for 34 weeks of pregnancy number 2. Yeah, I love it. Well, I do and I don't. Like, let's be real here. So pregnancy is not always the best for me, but I'm just so excited. I love feeling him kick. I love bonding with him and connecting with him, and oh, here comes another contraction. So let's see, where are we at now? Okay, I got like a 5-minute break there. That was nice. So alrighty, but yeah, so if you have any questions or comments, I mean, you know, feel free to comment, especially if you're also pregnant during this craziness. It is interesting being 3rd trimester during a pandemic. It's very, yeah, interesting, I guess we'll say is the word. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and hopefully if I can ever get around to it, I will do the nursery update. We just put the crib in his room. He won't be sleeping in there for a few months after he's born anyway, but it's starting to hopefully get things put in there and together and stuff, so it's kind of exciting. All right, thanks. We'll see you next time.